Somehow, you beat the real estate agent to the house. It looks different than what you pictured. This house is nothing like how it's portrayed in the movies. But that's to be expected. After all, they did remodel it to try and keep curious onlookers away. Even the street number is different. Your friends all think you have completely lost your mind because a lot of bad things have happened here. A mixture of real-life events and reports of terrifying encounters. You continue to watch the house and your thoughts go every which way. From horrifying murders to supposed ghostly and darker encounters. It doesn't make sense. This place looks so peaceful from your vantage point in the car. Suddenly, a knock on the car door startles you and gets your attention. The realtor must have pulled in while you were lost in thought. It's time to exit the car and look at the most infamous house in Amityville, New York. I'm Bree.
And I'm Christiana.
Prepare to dive into an infamous haunting.
Because you're about to hear something strange.
Welcome to episode 32, The Amityville Horror. We're going to crack into this.
Beautiful.
I'm going to start by reading, I almost said our sources, the dog in mine. So we have Wikipedia, The Amityville Horror. How Stuff Works, the real story behind the Amityville Horror House. Syfy, the true story of the Amityville Horror. U.S. Ghost Adventures, Hollywood Haunts, Unmasking the Amityville Horror and The Conjuring. The chilling crime and real house behind the Amityville Horror. So before we get too far into this, there's a couple of trigger warnings for this episode, including we're going to be referencing a murder. There's going to be references to kind of scary, demonic things.
Related issues.
Yeah.
Issues.
So this might get a little bit, this won't be as intense as the episode on the DeFeo murders, but this might get a little intense at times.
Yes.
Just a lot of like people being scared, lots of kind of scary things. This is a two-part question here.
Yes.
What do you know about the hauntings?
So I know Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in. They were apparently nasty. The really, really nasty haunting, ? Demonic. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Okie dokie. So the other question I was going to ask you is, can you give us a quick recap?
Yes.
Of the DeFeo murders.
Yes. So that was my episode. If you guys can't tell, this is a part 1, part 2 about the Amityville house.
It's the same house, just the different families.
Yes. So the people that lived here originally were the DeFeo family. It was a family of 7. The eldest son, Ron Jr. DeFeo, was convicted of murdering all 6 members of his family, his mother, his father, and his younger siblings, and spent the rest of his life in jail trying to blame it on everybody but himself, including people that did not exist. So,
except the dog.
Except for the dog, yes. The dog was not, and the dog was not harmed. For those of people like us who don't like to hear about animals being harmed. The dog was not harmed.
That was like after you described the gruesome murder, I'm like, but was the dog okay?
But was the dog okay? Yes.
So, like Christiana said, on November 13th of 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr., who was 23 years old at the time, shot and killed all 6 of his family members. The trial then lasted 7 weeks, and he was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 6 terms of 25 years to life in prison. He died in prison in March of 2021. I acted surprised when you said that, but I apparently already knew that because I wrote the script before that episode.
You did. You had yours done before mine.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is why I'm great to tell secrets to.
Yeah.
I won't remember them. So let's take a second to talk about the house itself. So when you were doing your research on the murders, did you find anything about 112 Ocean Avenue?
Like pre-murders or
just the house in general, like its history?
No, I didn't necessarily go looking for it, though. A lot of the articles that I referenced jumped straight into the haunting and then kind of went backwards to the murders. But I didn't find too much pre-murders.
So I'm going to talk about the house. I'm going to like set the scene a little bit here.
Yes. I'm sorry. I do know it's a Dutch colonial.
You're correct. So the address central to the Amityville hauntings and the DeFeo murders was 112 Ocean Avenue. The house was described as a Dutch colonial revival house in Amityville on the south shore of Long Island, New York. It was built in 1927, and it was a 5-bedroom Dutch colonial style with a gambrel roof. This is a specific type of sloping roof because I was like, what does that mean? And then I Googled it.
Yes.
There was also a swimming pool and a boathouse, and it was located on a canal.
Yes.
I feel like I am like trying to sell this house. Like, can I interest you in a historic house in a suburb of Long Island, New York? Just don't ask the history.
Yes, correct. Historical home.
Historical home. Has lots of character. Might come with some residents.
Don't worry about them. They're fine. You were the realtor in the intro to this.
Some interesting background about this house. It was supposedly rumored to sit on a former Shinnecock burial ground. More on this to come later. And supposedly a previous owner, John Ketchum, quote unquote, dabbled in Satanism.
All I can think is Ash Ketchum. I don't watch Pokemon. I don't do anything with Pokemon, but I know that name.
I only saw that in the U.S. Ghost Adventures article. I didn't see that anywhere else. Not only has the exterior been greatly changed, but the house number, I believe, has also been changed because there are a lot of people coming to like gawk at the house.
Yeah, I do think I remember now that you said that, reading that somewhere, like briefly mentioned that it was like changed to try and make it less like
noticeable.
Woo! Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our main cast of characters here, which is the Lutz family. They moved into 112 Ocean Avenue in December of 1975. So not that long after the murders occurred. Almost a year and some change, right?
Yeah.
They bought the house for $80,000, which was considered to be a bargain price. One of my sources said $80,000 under market price, but I think that was a mistype, saying that it was $80,000 and it was under market price.
Okay.
I think it was a grammatical mistake there.
Okay.
Apparently, during the inspection, the real estate broker informed them of the DeFeo murders.
Yeah.
The gist I got from that was the broker was like, hey, is this going to impact your decision? Mm-hmm. And the Lutzes were like, no, we're good.
That's wild to me.
But it's such a good price.
I mean, yeah, like $80,000 for a house, like a 5-bedroom house.
If it was like a horribly haunted house, but it had a really nice barn and it was a really cheap house, would you get it?
Is the barn haunted?
Maybe the ghosts do stalls for you.
Yeah. I was going to say, hell, if it's got a nice barn, I'll renovate the hayloft. I'll live in a barn. They can have the house.
Like, what is needed for you to be okay with buying a horribly haunted house?
That they're not trying to cause me harm.
Live in the hayloft.
Live in the hayloft.
They're supposed to disclose murders in houses now, right?
Yeah, I forget how many years. I think like definitely like if the murder has been within a year, I believe it's like a legal requirement actually to disclose like, hey, this happened. But I think there's like a cutoff.
It might not have been in the 70s though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, so let's get into the family members of the Lutzes. The parents were George and Kathy, and they had 3 children. Daniel, who was 9. Christopher, who was 7. That's not your Christopher. And Melissa, or Missy, who was 5. And the 3 children were Kathy's from a previous marriage. They also had a dog, Harry, and he was a Malamute Lab mix, and his age was not given. The move-in date for the Lutz family was December 18th of 1975. There apparently was still a lot of the DeFeo's furniture in the house, and this was included for $400 as part of the deal.
Absolutely not.
My question is, what would you do?
It'd be gone. I'd be throwing it out. I feel like that is cursed. Although I wouldn't have bought the house in the first place, but
I would not keep the furniture. People were, I just wouldn't keep the furniture. I don't think.
I want to know were the beds still there?
That would be a hard no.
Right? Like
Maybe it was like a couch or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as bad, but still, just like
dining room table.
Knowing like what happened in that house, I'd be like,
How much furniture like from thrift stores though do we not know of someone like?
True.
Okay, so let's get into the haunting.
Yes.
Do you remember what types of things were reported?
Was there like swarms of flies? I feel was that a thing, or was that maybe the Connecticut house? I might be getting that mixed up with a different haunting. I hope I didn't get it mixed up with the different haunting because I'm pretty sure I used swarms of black flies in my intro for DeFeo Family Murders. Anyway.
It might have been in the movie. It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I pulled that from. Okay. Were the walls bleeding?
Or something, yeah.
Someone was levitated out of their bed. I feel like that was Kathy was levitated from her bed. Some kind of loud noise like a marching band.
There was a lot of, yeah. So just to kind of, for some background here, I'm going to be referencing the book based on the hauntings at times. That's where most of the information is coming from.
The Amityville horror?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the first blessing. According to the book, a friend of George found out the history of the house and was like, hey, friend, do you think maybe you should call in a priest?
Yes. The answer is yes.
George, who is not Catholic, somehow knew a Catholic priest named Father Ray who agreed to bless the house.
Friends, you meet him.
In the book, he's referred to as Father Mancuso.
Father Mancuso.
For privacy reasons.
Okay.
The actual priest was Father Ralph J. Pecoraro. Oh my God.
That's a fun... Pecoraro.
Pecoraro. Is Ray short for Ralph?
Maybe.
Okay. In the book, the Father Mancuso was, and I quote, a lawyer, judge of the Catholic court, and a psychotherapist who resided at the Sacred Heart Rectory.
What a resume.
I said, holy homeboy got all kinds of schooling.
Holy homeboy. I love that.
Multiple business cards. Yeah. It's like all the things Sam and Dean pretend to be on Supernatural.
Wait, was he Sam or Dean?
Oh my gosh.
Plot twist.
It's a 70s, so it would have had to have been their father.
It was their dad.
It was John Winchester.
It was John Winchester. We solved it.
So apparently this blessing was being done while they were still moving in.
Oh.
Now, I'm not Catholic, so maybe that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels odd to me, but like, I don't know why it feels odd because I am also not Catholic.
It's like, hey, Father Ray, can you grab that box while you're walking in?
He has the incense holder on the box and he's carrying it in.
It's like, oh, you're going to that room? Actually, that box goes there. Can you take it with you, please? Thank you.
He's like, I'm in the middle of a blessing. I need you to stop talking.
Peace be with you. Hands the box. Instead of shaking hands.
Yeah, yes.
Or it's like, peace be with you. And then they respond with, and with your spirit, here's the box.
Yeah, correct.
Can you also imagine, like, they're not Catholic. This family is not Catholic, right?
Right.
And the kids are like, why is this random dude in our house?
Oh, true. Because, like, if you've never been to, and I'm not saying this to be insulting, I'm just, it's very, a Catholic ceremony is very different. Like, even if
It's
you're
very rich. It's very ritual.
Yes. Like, there's a lot of standing up, sitting down, like, chants, reading Latin, question mark?
Or they haven't, I mean, in general, Mass is not in Latin. It stopped being that way when my dad was still in high school.
Okay. So that's like kind of a stereotype that I had in my head then, but
that would have been.
It can be a bit of a culture shock to experience that when you've never.
Have you been to Catholic Mass?
Well, I don't know if it's considered twice or not. So I was to a service once. And then the other one I went to was I believe it was a funeral. So I don't know if that's considered a mass or if that's something.
I think it's a funeral. I'm not Catholic.
Mass. Okay.
It's a funeral mass.
That's a long time ago. That just dredged up a memory. I don't remember who the person was or anything.
My dad's side of the family is Catholic. So I had been to funeral masses, but I've also been to masses for other family members that weren't funeral.
Sure.
So while Father Ray was doing his blessing and helping them unpack, hopefully, he had something odd happen. He heard
something strange.
Something strange even. He heard a male voice telling him to get out.
Oh.
This was
one of the children. Like, get out.
This apparently was not disclosed to the family.
I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed if I found that out later.
I mean, but can you imagine? He's probably like,
okay.
He's probably shocked because he's like, I'm just doing this blessing.
Yeah. No, out of nowhere. Get out. It was Daddy.
It was Daddy.
This is my house.
Okay. Other things were supposedly reported during the blessing. He sensed a sinister presence in one of the upstairs bedrooms.
Checks out. That might have just been the vibes, TM.
Yeah.
God. Oh,
6 people were murdered here. You're probably going to sense something negative. There's going to be some
That's got to feel heavy at least.
You would think,
knowing,
right?
Oh.
And the Lutz family was warned not to sleep in a particular room, potentially connected to this
Previous.
this weird vibe he got.
Again, I say, yeah.
According to the book, it was more than just feelings and vibes. He was also slapped in the face and heard a groaning voice scream, "Get out." So now the voice is also groaning.
Wow. Okay, that's a little scary though, because honestly, that just makes me think of like a victim yelling at their attacker and groaning because they're hurt.
That's true, right? Because it could be. Also, you were right about the flies. In the movie, he was also attacked by a swarm of flies.
Oh, good.
So,
Attacked by a swarm of flies. That's heinous.
I know, right? Then on Christmas Eve, December 24th, I'm just going to call him Father Ray to make it less confusing.
Sure.
Father Ray called George and advised him against going into the room on the second floor where he heard the disembodied voices. Apparently, this was the former room of Mark and John DeFeo. Those were two of the younger boys.
Yeah.
Two of the DeFeo children.
Yeah, two of the DeFeo. Mark and what was the other little? Yeah, sorry. Anyway, continue. Doesn't matter.
This was originally going to be Kathy's sewing room. So you're a sewer. Is that what they're called?
Yes. Well, I've heard it a lot of, because when you write out sewer, it does not look like sewer. So some people say seamstress, costumer. I've heard sewist, which I like.
Oh, sewist.
Sewist. I would not be setting up my sewing room in the in the room where a murder of a 12-year-old took place, though. I forget how old Mark was. He might not have been the 12-year-old, but I believe there was.
I don't think you would knowingly set up a sewing room in a house where any murders took place.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So when Father Ray called to give this information to George Lutz, supposedly this phone call was cut short because there was a lot of static on the line.
Ew. Don't like that.
Also, apparently, following his visit to the house, Father Ray supposedly developed a high fever and blisters on his hand. According to Wikipedia, this was similar to a stigmata.
What's a stigmata? Sorry.
So it's this phenomenon. I always hear the Muppet song in my head when I say that word. It was this phenomenon of people getting like these wounds on their hands and feet where where Jesus was crucified. Like,
oh, that just drug up a memory too.
Oh my God, we're unlocking everything.
I feel like I saw something like when I was little, like my parents had a channel on TV, and I feel like I vaguely remember like a story.
There's a lot of
this
them.
woman. That's weird.
So when that happens, I mean, this is probably a leaning towards demonic. But when that happens, a lot of times people think it's like a sign of like holiness,
right?
Because okay, so here's a Bible lesson, right? When Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later, one of the things he did was he showed them his hands and his feet to show the wounds where he would have been held up on the cross.
Right.
So it's like, look.
This is proof this is me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's strange.
Don't love that.
So let's get into what the actual hauntings and activities reported by the Lutz family were. So this includes, but is not limited to, door slamming at all hours of the day.
Oh, that pissed me off.
It's like, guys, stop it. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, yes. Okay. You said in the beginning, what would be the level of convincing you to buy a haunted house? The minute doors start slamming at 3 a.m., I'm going to set the house on fire in a rage.
Did I ever
be enraged?
Did I ever tell you the dream I had when we were house hunting for my previous house?
No.
I dreamt that there was this really inexpensive house and it had this gorgeous barn, but it was like hella haunted.
Okay.
Like the chairs were floating across the floor on their own.
I don't love that.
Doors were opening and closing, and the realtor is like, "It's really haunted," and I'm like, "But the barn is really nice."
But the barn, though.
But the
horse
barn,
people
though.
things.
So yeah, a persistent coldness, even though there were fires in the fireplace. Maybe it was an old house that didn't hold heat well, or they were like me and freezing all the time.
Yeah. I was even like my trailer. I don't obviously have a fireplace in my trailer, but even my trailer's like that. I'm afraid it would catch on fire.
Here's your gelatinous goo on the walls and carpets.
Ew.
I can't imagine. Okay, here's another dream. So I tend to have stress dreams a lot because of things.
Yeah.
And I had a dream that there was this demon in my house, and it kept coming out of the walls, and it would make the walls bleed. But I wasn't upset that there was a demon. I was upset that it kept leaving me a mess.
Honestly, fair.
So in this,
like, be upset that there's a demon, but
in this dream, I'm like standing there, and he comes to the wall, and I went like, and the demon's like, "What?" And I'm like, I don't care that you're here, but like, look at the mess I have to keep cleaning up. And the demon was like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. And then I handed, because I was using like magic erasers in my dream. So I handed him a magic eraser and he just started helping me clean up his wall.
I love that you just set a boundary. You were like, clean up your mess.
And
I'm
like,
tired of this.
The demon was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I was doing that. Okay.
Moving right along.
The gelatinous is just a weird word. The goo on the wall, its colors varied. So you could have different colors between red, green, or black.
Wait, what? Isn't that a flag? Is that a Rasta? No, that's red, white, and green, isn't it?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a flag.
So yes, the goo.
The goo.
Kathy transformed into, and I quote, a 90-year-old crone. That's just rude.
What? She just transformed into a
momentarily. Just for a second. She's only kind of a crone.
She's only been a crone for 1 hour.
Not even an hour, just a couple minutes.
But she's mostly. What is that quote from the?
Only kind of dead. Only mostly dead.
Only mostly dead. Only mostly a crone.
He's only been mostly dead all morning. Have you seen The Princess Bride?
Oh yeah,
I love that movie.
I want to read the book, but I love that movie.
I've heard that's good. There's also this is such a weird sentence. A demon-eyed pig allegedly appeared at a bedroom window at one point.
Depending on the pig, it might have just been a pig. Because pigs can be. I'm sorry out there, anyone who has pigs. I like pigs. Pigs can be assholes.
Do you know it's a great way to hide a body? Because they will eat anything but metal.
Everything but the teeth, I think, right?
Or like a belt buckle. Or like, see, if you're going to hide a body by like giving it to pigs, make sure that there's no crowns in the mouth. Make sure that there's no earrings. If there's any metal bone or joint replacements, like, get rid of that. Supposedly, an unseen entity bound George to his bed multiple times, and George would wake up repeatedly at 3:15 a.m. This was supposedly around the time the DeFeo murders occurred.
Attempted blessing number 2.
Attempted blessing number 2. So blessing number 1 was when we were unpacking, when they were unpacking, and apparently Pastor Ray did not disclose that he had a voice saying, "Get out."
Right.
So he came back for more.
Dang. He said probably because he felt guilty. He's like, I didn't tell that family that, and they're probably having no end of problems now. I'm going to go back.
Or maybe he just actually is John Winchester. Attempted blessing number 2. This would be the Lutz's final... Sorry. They're not going to die.
This is their final night. God.
This is the Lutz's final night in the house.
How long have they been here now? Sorry.
30 days.
30 days. Okay, so this took place over a month. Okay. Roughly a month.
Did I write that down? 28 days.
28 days. Okay, a short month. 28 days.
It's like a cycle. Well, yeah, because February has 28 days sometimes. Except for every 4th year, then it's leap year.
Yes.
So the family declined a full account and described the events as too frightening.
Okay.
This is what we know. Also, the entity apparently followed them to Kathy's mom's house.
Don't go to Kathy's mom's house. Get out of Kathy's mom's house.
Maybe the entity didn't want to be in the house either. Maybe okay, hear me out. Maybe like the entity, maybe there's more than one entity in the house, and the one that followed them to her house was just trying to get away from the house.
I want to write a book. Someone write that. I don't have the energy to write right now.
So let's talk about the parts that we know, the parts that they did disclose.
Okay.
You hit some of these. Kathy supposedly levitated and slid off the bed.
Oh.
The ghost dropped her.
I said, "You're heavy, eat." I'd be so offended.
This is harder than it looks. Meanwhile, George was allegedly kept awake by the sounds of children's beds slamming on the floor above him, along with flickering lights and an unseen presence.
You turn the lights out. Stop slamming the furniture around. Go to sleep.
That's why the entity left the house.
Yeah. He's like, thank God, a night's sleep.
The kids said they were unable to move or leave their rooms. That sounds absolutely horrifying. Like,
it does actually sound really scary.
I feel better making fun of the parents.
Yeah.
If the kids are like, no, we were frozen. I'm like, you know what, babies, you were.
Oh my God, you're dredging up memories for me tonight.
Oh, this happened to you?
So, not that I couldn't leave my bed, but I got sent to my room when I was a kid one time, and I used to have a collection of Beanie Babies, and I had a Beanie Baby tree. You know what I'm talking about when I say that? And I remember this at one point, I was in my room, and for some reason, I got creeped out by all the Beanie Baby eyes staring at me. I tried to get out of my door, but it doesn't like open and close very easily. You have to kind of like tug on it and really shove it to get it closed. But I was in my room with my door closed, And I went over to the door because I was getting freaked out by the Beanie Babies. And I tried to open it and I couldn't get the door out. I ended up screaming like my head off. I was terrified.
Oh, no.
And my parents came running. They were like, what happened? And I'm sure they probably thought I was dying. Anyway.
So anyways,
It's my Beanie Baby trauma story.
that is very traumatic.
Sorry,
Back
anyway.
to the Lutz family trauma. After only 28 days, they fled the house.
Bye. With their new entity friend who's just trying to get a good night's sleep.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's get into the investigations that occurred.
'Kay.
So first, our first new friend is Stephen Kaplan, who was called to investigate the house while the Lutz family still lived there. Wikipedia described him, I love this, a self-styled vampirologist and ghost hunter.
A vampirologist?
How do we become that?
I don't know.
We're going to talk about his kind of views and what he thought about the hauntings in a little bit.
Okay.
Then we have the Warrens.
Enter the Warrens.
They did their investigation on March 6th of 1976. This was after the Lutz family fled, together with a crew from Channel 5 New York, and reporter Michael Kinder of WNEW/FM.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good.
I feel like that would be not conducive to an investigation to have a news crew there.
What if the ghosts are camera shy?
Yeah. Well, that is true. I was thinking more like, I feel like that wouldn't they be like trying to make something happen for the sake of having the camera crews there?
Why do you have to use logic?
Sorry guys.
Stop being so reasonable. All right. So Ed claimed to be shoved down, and Lorraine claimed to see visions of the DeFeo murders.
I mean, that might just be you picturing them in your mind's eye.
During the investigations, there are reports that there were cloven hoof prints in the snow on January 1st of 1976. While in the basement, they allegedly captured a demonic entity on camera.
Ew.
This is actually a pretty famous photo from it. It's
Oh,
the demon
yes.
boy thing.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Mhm.
I won't say what I
So-
remember about it.
This is the demonic. We're going to talk about the demonic boy picture for a little bit more. This is part of a series of infrared time-lapse photos by Gene Campbell. This picture allegedly showed a demonic-looking boy with glowing eyes standing at the foot of the staircase.
It is a creepy picture.
It is very creepy. So here's the thing. This took place, the investigation was 1976, right?
Mm-hmm.
The photo didn't emerge until 1979. At this time, the Lutz family and Rod Steiger appeared on the Marv Griffin show, promoting the release of the first film. So we're going to transition a little bit here. So we talked about the haunting itself and the reports, right?
Okay.
So we're going to talk about pop culture, and then we're going to kind of go a little bit further into maybe things aren't quite what they appear.
Ooh, okay. Can I put a little thing in here just for those who are potentially interested? If you do want to find that photo,
You didn't even let me answer. You're like, I'm doing it.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
You're good.
If you do want to find that photo, you can. I'm pretty sure just like a Google search will take you there. But it is creepy. It's not like gory, but it's
just
creepy
It's
looking.
unsettling.
Yeah. So just don't. If you're alone in your house and you get spooked, don't look it up.
So pop culture. So Experiences of the Lutz Family was made into a book by American author Jay Anson in September of 1977. Remind me at the end, I have a story from my parents.
Okay.
That's the year my brother was born.
Oh,
He's as old as Star Wars.
he has as old as Star Wars.
So most people have known about the film, but the book came first. A series of films about these occurrences started in 1979. The first film made over $86 million and became the second highest grossing film of 1979.
Dang.
Popular.
Yeah. I'm curious if that's one I could watch because I feel like if it was made like late 70s, I almost said early 80s, not early 80s.
That too.
It might not be. I think I'd probably get through it.
I think you'd be okay. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it.
Yeah. But it's probably campy enough from that I could be like, that's fine. Anyway.
I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
The first three movies, so there's a series of movies, and then there was a remake in the last 20 years.
Yes.
The first three movies were filmed at Toms River in New Jersey because authorities were like, hard pass. We are not letting you film a movie at the actual house.
No. That would be very disrespectful, I feel. I'm sorry. I keep
Yes.
interrupting you.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. So before we get into kind of digging into some of the facts about the hauntings and investigations a little bit more, what are your thoughts on the hauntings so far? Now you can say what you want. I don't care.
Hoax. Hoax.
Tell me why you think it's a hoax, and we'll see if the facts add up.
There's just certain things that I have like a hard time believing, and like some things I like okay, cold patches in the house. I feel like that's kind of common to hauntings, so like that I could get behind.
But that's super common in an old house too, because of the way the heat flows.
Yes, and like I was just gonna say, like a lot of this could be potentially explained away. Like, you know, oh, I felt frozen in my bed, and I kept waking up at the same time each morning. And it is weird that it's 3 a.m. because that was around the time that the murders were estimated to happen. But that could also be sleep paralysis.
Well, and it could be like, honestly, it could be that they're not waking up at that time.
Yeah.
We're also taking word as fact.
Right. That's true.
So I think if it's okay, we're going to transition into some of the next part.
Yes.
Which I aptly named It's Time to Weed Out the BS. We're switching, right?
I love that.
We held the, whatchamacallit, disbelief.
We kept the whimsy in the demons.
Yes.
I'm going to say it that from now on.
I saw my shadow. I was like, what is that?
Are we in the Amityville house? No.
It has a pool and everything.
It does. I still don't want it because 6 people were murdered in there. But
that was a while ago. Put the horses in the boathouse.
Yeah,
all right.
fair.
New York's pretty expensive too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into this a little bit further with more of a critical mind. We're gonna suspend the
whimsical demons.
Well, suspend the disbelief. What's that called?
We're gonna reanimate the disbelief.
No. It's like suspend the what of disbelief.
Suspend the
you know what I'm trying to say?
illusion of disbelief.
Never mind.
Or I can't remember.
No,
yeah, I think I know what you're saying, but
so. How truthful was the book in the movies? Well, there are lawsuits just about that.
Yee-haw.
Get ready. Discrepancies with the book and the reported haunting. During the lawsuit, we're going to start with there was a lawsuit in the 1970s. Father Ray said in an affidavit that he only had contact with the Lutz over telephone.
Oh. So he never actually went to the house at all.
There's more.
Okay.
Other accounts give a different story. In some accounts, he did say he visited the home and nothing happened. And then in 1979, he gave an interview for the TV series In Search Of and told a whole different story. In this interview, he said he did enter the home for a blessing, got slapped by an invisible force, and then was told to get out.
So he kept that. He kept going with that.
But that was redacted and then brought back in.
Right.
So then let's talk about the next owners after the Lutz family. James and Barbara Cromartie bought the house in 1977 for $55,000, equivalent to $285,000 in 2024. They had a whole different story about the house. So there was no physical damage to the doors, locks, and windows described in the books. So when the Lutz family was fleeing, they had said that like the doors were slamming and like windows were exploding and all kinds of fun things.
Dang. Windows were exploding.
Well, not exploding,
like,
but were shattering.
With that, yeah, but like that of glass.
Didn't happen.
Okay.
Everything was apparently original and in fine shape. So the red room was a room where they had found that they had found it. They couldn't see it originally.
Interesting.
The red room was apparently a small closet in the basement, and there was no way the Lutzes could not have known about it. It was not even remotely concealed.
Oh my gosh.
There's more. So the red room was not a secret spooky room.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The claims about it being built on a site where Native Americans had allegedly abandoned their dying and mentally ill.
Oh.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
The local members of the Shinnecock tribe denied and rejected these claims. They're like, you guys are full of BS. They didn't actually say that, but that's probably what they felt.
Yeah. And that sucks, like, kind of appropriating that to use it for your
gain.
Yeah, that sucks.
So this family of 5 and a dog buy a house for pretty far under market, right? Why do you, if it wasn't ghosts, why do you think they might have fled?
Faking it.
Why would they fake it and flee?
Oh, for the money and potential, like, well, not the money in and of itself, but like for the story of it that they could like sell to papers or. So
to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also not being able to keep up with the mortgage and tax payments. Oh.
So
So let's get into these investigations a little bit.
Yes.
So researchers Rick Morin and Peter Jordan rejected the claims that there were footprints in the snow.
Okay.
On January 1st of 1976.
Cloven hoof prints?
Yes, and this would have been during the investigation that the Warrens and everyone did.
Okay.
Any guesses as to why they think these claims were fake?
I mean, for one, and maybe I'm thinking too logical about this, but I'm like, there's no animals in the vicinity. I can't imagine there's like white-tailed deer in Long Island, New York, or like a random goat running around.
You're thinking logically.
I'm thinking way too logically.
No. You're thinking you're on the right level of logical, but you're overstepping you're overlooking a major thing that would be needed to make footprints in the snow.
Oh, was there not any snow on the ground? What? Wow. So they were like, there was footprints in the snow. Where was the snow?
The snow was out there?
Maybe they were, okay. They were saying there's footprints in the snow. There's cloven footprints in the snow. What they didn't say was it was in like a vacation home that they took in Vermont.
They're in Colorado. I don't know. It followed us there.
He didn't ask if it was around the house.
While the Lutz were reporting all of these strange sounds and stuff, like, children making sounds and all that stuff.
Yeah.
None of the neighbors reported hearing anything. Also, apparently, supposedly, the police were called to the house in the book and in the film.
Okay.
No reports of that.
Interesting. Okay.
So let's talk about the book deal itself. William Weber. Who was William Weber?
The lawyer who represented Ron Jr. Need to specify because Ron Sr. was the father that was murdered. But yeah, that was Ron Jr.'s lawyer.
So Weber was already working on the idea of a book about the murders titled The Devil on My Back.
Wow, brother.
Via reports from Weber, he and the Lutzes came up with the book over several glasses of wine. Quote from Weber in 1988. We took real-life incidents and transposed them. In other words, it was a hoax.
It was a hoax.
The Lutzes and Weber had a fight over how the book deal would be split, and they parted ways. And then the Lutzes decided to go with Jay Anson, and they sold their story to him for his book.
Wow.
You ready for the lawsuits in more detail?
I'm ready. Let's go. George
and Kathy Lutz filed a lawsuit against William Weber. Paul Hoffman, who was a writer that was working on accountings of an accounting of the haunting.
Wait, hang on. George and Kathy Lutz filed the lawsuit after selling their book to another person. Mm-hmm. Or not their book, their story.
Mm-hmm. There's more.
Okay, sorry. I had to clarify that.
Bernard Burton and Frederick Mars, who were alleged clairvoyants who had examined the house, Good Housekeeping Magazine, the New York Sunday News, and the Hart Corporation.
Wait, they filed lawsuits against all these people? Why?
Because they were probably trying to show that it was a hoax. Because they were making statements about it not being real.
Okay, so what? I guess would that be considered like libel or something?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
There was alleged misappropriation of names, invasion of privacy, and incurring mental distress.
Oh.
The claims against the news corporations were dropped. The remainder of the lawsuit was dismissed on September 17th. After being heard by Brooklyn District Court Judge Jack B. Weinstein. In the 1979 issue of People magazine, Weber wrote the following. I know this book is a hoax. We created this horror story over many bottles of wine. So what does this mean? So a meeting occurred between the Lutzes and Weber. During this meeting, they discussed what would later become the outline of Anson's book.
Ooh.
The judge had some feelings about this. He raised ethical questions about lawyers becoming literary agents.
I mean, yeah.
But wait, there's more. Weber filed a $2 million lawsuit against the couple for going back on the book deal.
Dude.
Cromartie also launched a suit against the Lutzes, Anson, and his publisher. So what happened? The Lutzes admitted that just about everything in the book was fiction. This was according to an article in the Skeptical Inquirer.
The Skeptical Inquirer. I love that.
So I have some interesting facts and then a story.
Okay.
So George Lutz maintained that the incidents reported in the book were mostly true.
Okay.
Mostly.
We went from not at all to mostly.
George and Kathy took a polygraph test in June of 1979. The test was done by Chris Gugas and Michael Rice, and they were supposedly among the top 5 polygraph experts in America at this time. Apparently, the test did not indicate lying. What are your thoughts?
Polygraphs can be fooled.
Oh yeah, because if you can convince yourself and get your heart rate and stuff down.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting. I'm gonna low key hijack your episode here. That'd be an interesting snapshot.
That would be the history of polygraph test.
History of polygraph test. If anyone's interested, let us know.
They still use them in courts, though.
Really? See, I
think so.
I think they can. So okay, Morbid has a lot of the podcast Morbid has a lot of insight about polygraphs, and they have this phrase that they use called "they're about as useful as a hot dog in a trench coat," which I'm like, yeah, but then they've also said it could potentially be like a springboard for investigators, I suppose. If, okay, we can clearly see you failed this polygraph. Are you sure there's nothing else you want to, like, kind of that deal? But because you can fool them, they're not
reliable.
They're not particularly reliable. They're not like, oh, they're lying for certain. It's not.
I kind of put them on a similar level as like information gathered in reverse hypnosis.
Okay.
Because that's also bullshit.
Oh, interesting.
Because memories are so, maybe that was a really strong response. Memories are so influenceable.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, like, think like, okay, like reverse psychosis, or not psychosis, reverse hypnosis is reverse psychosis.
Reverse psychosis.
The satanic panic was because people were kind of implanting memories.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes.
I have a whole episode of that coming up at someday. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but anyway.
Do we want to talk about our good friend, Stephen Kaplan, our vampire hunter friend?
Oh, absolutely. The vampirologist?
Yes.
Yes, we want to talk about the vampirologist. Hire me.
He had a falling out with the Lutzes because he stated he would expose any fraud that he found.
Ooh.
And he wrote a book titled The Amityville Horror Conspiracy with his wife, Roxanne, in 1995.
Oh, I don't think I found that.
I didn't hear of it until I did research.
I wasn't looking for the Amityville conspiracy. I was looking for the murder. So anyway.
Local residents of Amityville aren't happy about the attention. The local historical society doesn't mention the murders of the DeFeo family or the Lutz's reported hauntings. Just to kind of pause there, I think that is such a disservice to the members of the DeFeo family that were murdered.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can understand you not wanting to put the hauntings in there, but I'm sorry. I'm going to make a stand here and say I don't think that's okay.
No, because the murders obviously happened.
Yeah, they happened. And I feel that they've been so tied in with all of the
hauntings that's overshadowed.
And that's not fair. There were children, trigger warning, there were 4 children that died brutally. They deserve to be remembered.
Well, and they're not what's remembered. It's the fact that there was the murder and then ghosts and a demon maybe. But I think that is such a kind of misstep on, I'm going to get canceled for this, the historical society of like, okay, honor the victims because they were kids.
Yeah.
Like, they probably like did things in their schools. They like,
yeah, they had friends. They had, and the parents too. We're not trying to do a disservice to them either, but like that's terrible. Sorry, we're both going to get canceled for that, but I can't stay quiet about that.
It's like give the people that were the victims of the crime the respect they deserve.
Yes.
So via the reports of one of Kathy's children, George had a history of occult dabblings and may have invited supernatural beings into the home. Now, purposely to torment them, I don't know. He also apparently repeated the names of demons during meditations.
During meditations?
Like he'd be doing some kind of like meditation ritual.
Okay.
And would be like just in his meditative state repeating names of demons.
Don't do that. That's not a mantra. That's not a calming mantra. Roxy agrees. She said, no, it's not.
We just say Anderson over and over again.
Anderson. Now we sound like a sports fan. Anderson. Goal!
Anyways, apparently the Lutz family never retracted their story.
Okay.
Okay, can I tell you a story?
Neither did Ronald DeFeo. Sorry, go ahead.
He just kept changing his story.
Ronald DeFeo Jr.
He didn't retract his stories. He kept changing them.
Yes.
So I told my parents that I was doing this because they occasionally listen.
Oh, okay.
And My mom was like, "Oh yeah, your dad has a story about that."
About the Amityville Horror?
The book.
The book.
So
Okay.
my parents are both readers. My mom used to read horror. She doesn't anymore. Both my parents used to. And my dad was reading the book years ago. And all of a sudden, he's sitting down reading it. He got to the part of, like, I guess the dog was barking or something. And the light turned off.
Ooh.
But there's more. The light was on a timer. It scared the crap out of him.
I was going to say, can you imagine, like, the horror until you realize, like,
He was like, I put the book, I think mom said, like, he put the book down, and then it was like, wait.
And then the relief after that, like, his knees probably felt like water.
But
like,
I guess
from that relief.
I guess it was getting to, like, a scary point.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think I was going to say, I kind of want to read the book, but I don't know at this point if that would be disrespectful or not.
I don't think it'd be disrespectful. I mean,
No. I'll get it out of the library. I'll support a local library.
There you go. Do you have any closing thoughts?
What a wild story in so many ways.
Do you have thoughts? Haveth thou thoughts?
Havest thou thought? Just like, this is just an insane, like, I don't like that they're trying to capitalize on brutal murders. And I'm just going to say it bluntly like that. I feel like that's kind of skeevy. Like, you shouldn't be trying to capitalize on murders anyway, but especially the murder of 6 people.
Yeah.
That was already just so horrific and unnecessary. I don't like it.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. What drew you to this topic?
I think at one point, because I'm a control freak, I was like, it would be cool. We should do a 2-parter on the Amityville hauntings. And we were like, what a great way to start January.
True story. Quite literally true story.
Started off with a murder.
Yeah. Was there anything you wish you could have researched more into?
There's so many, like, dead ends.
Yeah.
Because it's our vampirologist friend.
Oh, yeah.
He'd make a good snapshot.
He would.
I would like to know more about him.
Okay. All right. Snapshot.
Get ready for my cease and desist letter from Amityville Historical Society.
And what did you find the most strange about this topic?
The whole thing.
Fair.
The fact that just there was a lawsuit over a supposed haunting.
Yeah. I love that. This is, I guess, low-key a closing thought too, because these are not my questions to answer, but I just love that the Lutzes tried to sue people
For defamation of... To me, it sounds like it kind of got out of control.
Yeah.
And they kind of couldn't back down once it got out of control.
Yeah.
And the Lutzes did divorce.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't put that in the notes because I think it was super important, but
right.
Like I don't remember when they divorced, but they did, like, they are not together still.
Interesting. I guess it makes sense. You're already, especially if they ended up. Does that wrap it up? What a way to start the year. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a suggestion for a strange or mysterious topic, a comment about an episode, or just want to chat, please reach out. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and YouTube. Comment directly on episodes on Spotify and YouTube, or leave a review of the podcast as a whole on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Find us on Instagram at something_strangepod, on Facebook at Something Strange Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at something_strangepod, and check out our strange content over at TikTok at somethingstrangepod01.
You can also send us a Gmail at somethingstrangepod24@gmail.com, and the 24 is numeric.
Well, strangers, it's time for us to part ways.
Until we meet again, stay away from 112 Ocean Avenue.
We'll be back again soon with another
Something Strange. See, John Winchester would have figured this. Well, I can't say that yet. Never mind. Cut that out.
We're getting there. We're
getting there.
We're pretending it's real, Christiana.
I'm sorry.
Don't take the whimsy out of a haunting.
Don't take the whimsy out of it.
Don't take the whimsy away from my demons.
Okay, sorry.
On Canada's east coast, the Atlantic isn't the only thing that's dark and restless. It Came from the Maritimes is co-hosted by siblings Evan and Chelsea, who share the region's fog-shrouded legends, haunted lighthouses, ghost ships, and chilling folklore passed down through generations. It's maritime history at its most haunting. True crime, eerie local lore, and the mysteries that refuse to stay buried. For those drawn to the strange and storied side of the East Coast, It Came from the Maritimes releases new episodes every week. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.